station with the best music. Best music.
I love the music.
Best music.
Smile.
It's Wednesday night. It's 9 p.m. It's time for the Midweek Mashup with James Herrington, Ritchie Johnston, and Jonathan Edwards. So sit back, it's time to rock out with 2 hours of the hardest unsigned rock on Smile Radio. Yeah!
Yeah, we really need to work on that intro. So yeah, hopefully next week we'll have a whole new intro for you. But yeah, welcome to the GameboyZ, do the midweek mashup here at Smile Radio. A brand new formatted show. We're basically here talking about the scenarios as gamers that movies throw out there. You'll understand it as the show goes on. It's one of those. Anyway, I best bring in the lads because they're probably itching to drop their hellos. So from up in the north, we've got a man from the Lost. It's the Lost Huntsman, Jonathan Edwards. How you doing, Johnny?
Bonsoir.
Bonsoir, no indeed, my friend. And down from
Translate that.
in the southeast, we've got our man, the Min. It's not even Min 1 man in 24 anymore, is it?
No.
Yeah, honestly, you're letting the side down, Jam. It's Anyway, it's Jam. Jam's back. Welcome back, Jam. Yeah, give him a round of applause.
Jam's back. He's not on a booty call for once.
I know. It's like I feel privileged. I mean, like, if it was one of those cases that we were sat here the night before recording the show, that would have been a little bit different, but hey, you know how it goes anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, welcome to the midweek mashup with the GameboyZ here at Smile Radio. Unfortunately, we've got no military mark tonight because that boy's on guard duty. So yeah, I'm fully expecting to read in the newspaper tomorrow that some high-tech classified governmental stuff's been nicked in the night because I've seen him play Call of Duty and squad member. Squad goals, but yeah,
less than average.
I know. How are the boys doing anyway? We'll start with you, Johnny. How are you this evening? Are you all good?
Does that answer your question?
I know. I've got the black lung, pup.
I've still got the cough.
Gonna have to start calling you Black Lung, innit? Anyway, over to you, Jam, the ray of enlightenment. How are you this evening? That good, huh?
Good.
Yeah, it's all going around, isn't it? Just try to get that little bit of extra airtime, innit? That's all he's doing.
Yeah.
Right, so, Jam, you're basically new to the new midweek mashup. Johnny and Military Mark have run through the scenarios a couple of weeks on the trot now. I mean, you was there for that one Friday, that one time at band camp when we...
where he got shanked.
Yeah, he ended up getting shanked in prison.
37 times in the chest.
I know, so I'll recap you on basically what's happened previously on the GameboyZ Do. So we started off with 60 Days In, where you foolishly told a group of Crips that you used to be a Blood and they shanked you. Johnny managed to get out. He wasn't quite the same afterwards, but Mark ended up having to do a little bit of a sentence and stuff. Basically because, he went full metal jacket and started beating on guards and stuff like King Kong at the top of the Empire State Building. I don't know what happened to that boy, man. I tell you, it's the whippets. He got the whippets into his system, and once the whippets hit, that's it. He goes all nuts and stuff. But yeah, so Johnny breaks Mark out, and then along the way they found out that you're actually alive. You was alive in hospital, surviving barely. You'd lost your 20 grand because you didn't stay 60 days in. So there was that. So the guys had fled to Australia for a little bit. Anyway, it turns out that you were alive, and they went on flight 815. Ended up on the island from Lost. Now, they had an option to get off the island and get to rescue you, right? So, do you know what they chose to do, Jam?
Oh dear.
They chose to stay on the island from Lost. They had a choice. They could have, they had some pretty crazy stuff happening on the island from Lost. You can catch these again, obviously, on Podbean, on demand and stuff, I should say, as we get into this. But yeah, so... I gave them the choice. Here's what you could do, right? So, after all this brutality, Johnny had to become the sheriff for a little while on the island from Lost. Mark got kidnapped by a smoke monster, and then he got kidnapped by the others, so that didn't go too well for him. But yeah, they both chose to stay on the island.
Did well up until that point.
And their excuse was, well, it was a bit of a cop-out ending, wasn't it? And it's like they don't let the creative mind roll with it, because, I'd have carried that story on this week when, you got on your little adventure. But so you died in hospital and went back to prison or whatever, and they stayed on the island from Lost. Anyway, in another reality, because, we're extending the boundaries of reality. Yeah, here we are, sat in the Radio Shack again, and the offers come up. would you spend a night in a haunted house? That's tonight's question. Are you going to spend what would it take to get you guys in a haunted house for the night?
Absolutely nothing.
You'd just go straight for
I'd
it.
happily do it for
You'd
free.
happily do it for free. Okay. Look at
How much
him.
is involved?
What do you mean how much is involved? I'm not saying how much is... I'm saying what would it take? Test your might, innit?
Yeah, how much is involved?
Well, you got to spend a night in a haunted house. Maybe broadcast. We're going to broadcast it live for the sake of the scenario. You know what? We'll go into the full story of this a little bit. So, the year is 2015. I think it was 2015. Is it 2015 or was it 2016?
What, when we first started it?
Yeah, when we first talked about this, it was 2016, wasn't it? Yeah. So the year was 2016.
I believe so, because we had the original.
16, yeah.
The OG crew, yeah. So yeah, we all planned to sort of try and get a documentary together in a haunted house, because it happens to be one of Europe's most haunted houses, not too far away from me. Yeah, I'm quite lucky that way. So you know,
lucky.
Obviously budgetary constraints. We were working on a budget. Anyway, we started working in radio a little bit, and yeah, we thought, well, maybe we could throw a party in a haunted house on radio, not like a real party, not like one of them horror movies type parties where. They're all having a party one minute, and then the next minute somebody's getting shanked up in a closet, and you've got teenagers hooking up in random places, messing up sheets and stuff, innit? No jam.
Unless.
Just no.
Yeah.
No unless. No unless. And this is not how it happens.
What unless?
No unless, because, like you see, it happens
No unless.
in reality. No, you have no unless. It just happens in reality that you don't get
Can I
that
have
sort of
one?
thing. So tonight, I'm going to talk about you guys going into a haunted house. I'm going to lay the seeds out there for the audience. Get the Game Boys in a haunted house, because we want to see how you'd... It's interesting to hear how you would react as gamers as to how you would react in real life, and this is the experiment I want to throw out there. So I'm throwing this big gauntlet of a challenge out there, yeah. So if anybody can help hook us up.
I'm just going to state this out now. I'm probably going to be like the stereotypical blonde girl that does everything you'd expect not to do.
Okie dokie. Right, we're gonna
Like, don't run towards the man with a knife.
don't do that. Oh, hi, guy with a knife. Anyway, so yeah, we're gonna talk about.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Yeah. Oh, hi, guys. So yeah, we're gonna talk about you guys going into a haunted house. But we've been talking now for nearly 10 minutes of the show, so I'm pretty sure that the listeners are going to want to hear a bit of music before we get underway, to set the mood. So I've got some...
they're just here for our beautiful voices.
Well, that's it, obviously. So I've got some really great music lined up for this next hour and a half as well, in between chat. Now, I've got to throw out the one, and it is 9 o'clock here at Small Radio, so it is a post-watershed show. Let's try this one more time.
Post-watershed show.
Thanks, Jam. Yeah, he done it. Yeah, so it's a post-watershed show.
I got you.
Thank you, buddy. But yeah, so we're going to play some music that's going to be uncut, unfiltered, the way that the song was intended to be played, because, you've got to listen to music the way that it should be played. If you listen to it, I mean, let's put it this way. If you listen to an edited version of Eminem, you'd only have, 10 seconds of a track. So, we do that on a Smart Radio here on an evening. We'll give you the full uncut track. Now, the first one, it does say that there's no explicit lyrics on it, but Spotify has been known to lie. We've got a selection of great unsigned music ahead of you tonight. We've got the first up on the list is Cool Kill Machine, and this is by WARBLY Jets. Basically, I've just looked at some undiscovered artists out there again. I've just sort of been scouting Spotify. I went on like them wild internet tangents you go on when you sat on the crapper and you sort of like, I'm going to read this story, and then that story leads to another story, and before you know it, you've been sat on the loo for about 4 hours, and you've just read through half of Wikipedia on about a billion different subjects. It's one of those. I've started doing that.
Can't say I do.
Well, I used to do that, but now to build playlists.
I sometimes do it.
It
depends.
But you get what I mean, though, Jam. It's like one of those ones. If you're in that mood, you just want 10 minutes a piece, you sit there reading, but one article leads to another. Because I like to read a lot of stuff. So yeah, I've started doing it with my
when
music.
You're just laying in bed watching YouTube videos, gaming and that,
watching
and then all of a
YouTube
sudden
videos
you're learning
in
how to
bed.
pick a lock.
We'll come back to that one next about YouTube videos, because I'm pretty sure you don't watch YouTube videos in your bed, Jam. Anyway, so yeah, we're gonna talk a
What
little
are
bit.
YouTube videos?
Yeah, what are YouTube videos? We're gonna talk a little bit after that, after some music. But Cool Kill Machine, WARBLY Jets. Here we go.
Cool.
Rocking out with the guys. Cool. No doubt.
Just I just free. Very good deal. Another day in the dust. We only do what we must. You better run for your life. Oh yeah, you can't get enough, and now I'm calling your bluff in front of your 45. It's
keep people safe.
I want to carry a gun. I think I should have a right to.
Kids are dying. Kids are dead.
You have that much power in your hand.
It's gonna set you free. And now you got the power in your hands. Why not make it a scene? You got a cool kill machine.
What more could you ask for, guys? So really cool.
Machine.
And it may have sounded like a war was going on, but all of this
Was in the name of fun.
It's gonna set you free.
everybody, this is Jerry Hall, independent recording artist, and wanted to tell you a little bit about my new single called Matchbox Cover, which is from my newest album, When You Were Famous. It's the first track off the album that kind of gets you going like a chugging, choo-chooing freight train. It's a pop rock song about a guy who drives to a small town after a long drive from the city and stops for coffee and donuts to take a break. He then catches the eye of a beautiful woman, which is the waitress, and after he finds the nerve to approach her, she presents him with a matchbox cover, has her name on it, and a number written on the back of it. She then tells him to call her so they can date. The song has a feel-good factor and hopefully might have you smiling with an urge to dance around. So don't forget to check out my new album, When You Were Famous, available at 150 plus online stores in over 78 countries around the world. Oh, and please come over and check me out at reverbnation.com/Jerry Hall. That's reverbnation.com/JERRYHULL and check me out. Or hit me up at Jerry Hall Singer on Twitter or Facebook at Jerry Hall Singer Pianist Songwriter. That's Jerry Hall Pianist Songwriter at Facebook or Jerry Hall Singer on Twitter. So ladies and gentlemen, please enjoy now Matchbox Cover.
The Curtain Shop Ossett. For all your curtains, blinds and upholstery needs, visit our showroom at 9 Kingsway Ossett, WF5 8DA, or give us a call on 01924 283 284. Visit our website www.yorkshirecurtainshop.co.uk or look for The Curtain Shop on Facebook. The Curtain Shop Ossett.
And now, the moment you've all been waiting for.
Let's go! The station with the best music. Best music.
I love the music.
Best music.
Smile.
Smile.
It's Wednesday night. It's 9 p.m. It's time for the Midweek Mashup with James Herrington, Ritchie Johnston, and Jonathan Edwards. So sit back, it's time to rock out with 2 hours of the hardest unsigned rock on Smile Radio. Yeah!
Yeah, we really need to work on that intro. So yeah, hopefully next week we'll have a whole new intro for you. But yeah, welcome to the GameboyZ, do the midweek mashup here at Smile Radio. A brand new formatted show. We're basically here talking about the scenarios as gamers that movies throw out there. You'll understand it as the show goes on. It's one of those. Anyway, I best bring in the lads because they're probably itching to drop their hellos. So from up in the north, we've got a man from the Lost. It's the Lost Huntsman, Jonathan Edwards. How you doing, Johnny?
Bonsoir.
Bonsoir, no indeed, my friend. And down from
Translate that.
in the southeast, we've got our man, the Min. It's not even Min 1 Man in 24 anymore, is it?
No.
Yeah, honestly, you're letting the side down, Jam. It's anyway, it's Jam. Jam's back. Welcome back, Jam. Yeah, give him a round of applause.
Jam's back.
It's not on a booty call for once.
I know. It's like I feel privileged. I mean, like, if it was one of those cases that we were sat here the night before recording the show, that would have been a little bit different, but hey, you know how it goes anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah. Welcome to the midweek mashup with the GameboyZ here at Smile Radio. Unfortunately, we've got no military mark tonight because that boy's on guard duty. So, yeah, I'm fully expecting to read in the newspaper tomorrow that some high-tech classified governmental stuff's been nicked in the night because I've seen him play Call of Duty and squad member, squad goals, but yeah,
less than average.
I know. How are the boys doing anyway? We'll start with you, Johnny. How are you this evening? Are you all good?
Does that answer your question?
I know. I've got the black lung, pup.
I still got the cough.
Gonna have to start calling you Black Lung, innit? Anyway, over to you, Jam, the ray of enlightenment. How are you this evening? That could hurt.
Good.
It's all going around, isn't it? Just try to get that little bit of extra airtime, innit? That's all he's doing.
Yeah.
Right, so, Jam, you're basically new to the new midweek mashup. Johnny and Military Mark have run through the scenarios a couple of weeks on the trot now. I mean, you was there for that one Friday, that one time at band camp when we...
where he got shanked.
Yeah, he ended up getting shanked in prison.
37 times in the chest.
I know, so I'll recap you on basically what's happened previously on the GameboyZ. So we started off with 60 Days In, where you foolishly told a group of Crips that you used to be a blood and they shanked you. Johnny managed to get out. He wasn't quite the same afterwards, but Mark ended up having to do a little bit of a sentence and stuff. Basically because, he went full metal jacket and started beating on guards and stuff like King Kong at the top of the Empire State Building. I don't know what happened to that boy, man. I tell you, it's the whippets. He got the whippets into his system, and once the whippets hit, that's it. He goes all nuts and stuff. But yeah, so Jonny breaks Mark out, and then along the way they found out that you're actually alive. You was alive in hospital, surviving barely. You'd lost your 20 grand because you didn't stay 60 days in. So there was that. So the guys had fled to Australia for a little bit. Anyway, it turns out that you were alive, and they went on flight 815, ended up on the island from Lost. Now, they had an option to get off the island and get to rescue you, right? So do you know what they chose to do, Jam?
Oh dear.
They chose to stay on the island from Lost. They had a choice. They could have they had some pretty crazy stuff happening on the island from Lost. You can catch these again, obviously, on Podbean on demand and stuff, I should say, as we get into this. But yeah, so I gave them the choice. Here's what you could do, right? So after all this brutality, Jonny had to become the sheriff for a little while on the island from Lost. Mark got kidnapped by a smoke monster. And then he got kidnapped by the others, so that didn't go too well for him. But yeah, they both chose to stay on the island.
Did well up until that point.
And their excuse was, well, it was a bit of a cop-out ending, wasn't it? And it's like they don't let the creative mind roll with it, because, I'd have carried that story on this week when, you got on your little adventure. But so you died in hospital and went back to prison or whatever, and they stayed on the island from Lost. Anyway, in another reality, because, we're extending the boundaries of reality. Yeah, here we are, sat in the Radio Shack again, and the offers come up. Would you spend a night in a haunted house? That's tonight's question. Are you going to spend what would it take to get you guys in a haunted house for the night?
Absolutely nothing.
You'd just go straight for
I'd
it.
happily do it for
You'd
free.
happily do it for free. Okay.
How much is involved?
What do you mean how much is involved? I'm not saying how much is. I'm saying what would it take? Test your might, innit?
Yeah, how much is involved?
Well, you got to spend a night in a haunted house. Maybe broadcast. We're going to broadcast it live for the sake of the scenario. You know what? We'll go into the full story of this a little bit. So, the year is 2015. I think it was 2015. Is it 2015 or was it 2016?
What, when we first started it?
Yeah, when we first talked about this, it was 2016, wasn't it? Yes. The year was 2016.
I believe so, because we had the original.
16,
The OG crew, yeah. So yeah, we all planned to sort of try and get a documentary together in a haunted house, because it happens to be one of Europe's most haunted houses, not too far away from me. Yeah, I'm quite lucky that way.
Lucky.
Obviously budgetary constraints. We're working on a budget. Anyway, we started working in radio a little bit, and yeah, we thought, well, maybe we could throw a party in a haunted house on radio, not like a real party, not like one of them horror movies type parties where they're all having a party one minute and then the next minute somebody's getting shanked up in a closet and you've got teenagers hooking up in random places, messing up sheets and stuff, innit? No, Jam. Just no.
Yeah.
No unless. And this is not how it happens.
One unless?
No unless, because like you see, it happens in reality. No, you have no unless. It just happens in reality that you don't get that sort of thing. So tonight I'm going to talk about you guys going into a haunted house. I'm going to lay the seeds out there for the audience. Get the Game Boys in a haunted house, because we want to see how you'd. It's interesting to hear how you would react as gamers as to how you would react in real life, and this is the experiment I want to throw out there. So I'm throwing this big gauntlet of a challenge out there. Yeah, so if anybody can help hook us up.
I'm just going to state this out now. I'm probably going to be like the stereotypical blonde girl that does everything you'd expect not to do.
Okie dokie. Right, we're gonna
like, don't run towards the man with a knife.
Don't do that. Oh, hi, guy with a knife. Anyway, so yeah, we're gonna talk about.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Yeah. Oh, hi, guys. So yeah, we're gonna talk about you guys going into a haunted house. But we've been talking now for nearly 10 minutes of the show, so I'm pretty sure that the listeners are going to want to hear a bit of music before we get underway, to set the mood. So I've got some.
They're just here for our beautiful voices.
Well, that's it, obviously. So I've got some really great music lined up for this next hour and a half as well, in between chat. Now I've got to throw out the one, and it is 9 o'clock here at Small Radio, so it is a post-watershed show. Let's try this one more time.
Post Watershed Show.
Thanks, Jam. Yeah, he done it. Yeah, so it's a
That's
Post Watershed show.
I got you.
Thank you, buddy. But yeah, so we're going to play some music that's going to be uncut, unfiltered, the way that the song was intended to be played, because, you know, you've got to listen to music the way that it should be played. If you listen to it, I mean, let's put it this way, if you listen to an edited version of Eminem, you'd only have, like, 10 seconds of a track, so, you know, we do that on a smart radio here on an evening. We'll give you the full uncut track. Now, the first one, it does say that there's no explicit lyrics on it, but Spotify has been known to lie. We've got a selection of great unsigned music ahead of you tonight. We've got the first up on the list is Cool Kill Machine, and this is by WARBLY Jets. Basically, I've just looked at some undiscovered artists out there again. I've just sort of been scouting Spotify. I went on a, you know, like them wild internet tangents you go on when you sat on the crapper and you're sort of like, oh, I'm going to read this story, and then that story leads to another story, and before you know it, you've been sat on the loo for about 4 hours, and you've just read through half of Wikipedia on about 1 billion different subjects. It's one of those. I've started doing that.
Can't say I do.
Well, I used to do that, but now to build playlists.
I sometimes do it. It depends.
But you get what I mean, though, Jam. It's like one of those ones. If you're in that mood, you just want 10 minutes a piece, you sit there reading, but one article leads to another. Because I like to read a lot of stuff. So yeah, I've started doing it with my
when
music.
You're just like laying in bed watching YouTube videos, like gaming and that,
Watching
and then all of a
YouTube
sudden
videos
you're learning how
in
to
bed.
take a lock.
We'll come back to that one next about YouTube videos, because I mean I'm pretty sure you don't watch YouTube videos in your bed, Jam. Anyway, so yeah, we're gonna talk a
What
little
are
bit.
YouTube videos?
Yeah, what are YouTube videos? We're gonna talk a little bit after that, after some music. But Cool Kill Machine, WARBLY Jets. Here we go.
Cool.
Rocking out with the guys. Cool. No doubt.
Just like, I just like three. Another day in the dust. We only do what we must. You better run for your life. Oh yeah, you can't get enough. And now I'm calling your bluff in front of your 45. It's gonna set you free. And now you've got the power in your hands. Why not make it a scene? You got a cool kill machine. Kill. Another crisis went down, but nobody ever sound. It must have wanted us to lose. No, I'm not playing around. They're dealing death by the pound, and we're buying back the blood from our wounds. Another time's gone to ruin what's been won. Can't you see that all in all it goes in Babylon? It's gonna set you free, and now you got the power in your hands. Kill machine. Why not make it a scene? You got a cool kill machine. Kill.
We want more armed, trained armed people. Saying someone how to use a gun does not make people safe.
I want to carry a gun. I think I should have a right to.
Kids are dying. Kids are dead.
You have that much power in your hand.
It's gonna set you free, and now you got the power in your hands. Why not make it a scene? You got a cool kill machine.
What more could you ask for, guys? So really cool.
Machine
And it may have sounded like a war was going on, but all of this
was in the name of fun. Smile Radio.
Welcome back. It is the midweek mashup here on Smile Radio this Wednesday night with the GameboyZ James Herrington, who's dropped in for a guest appearance, and Jonathan Edwards. How are we doing this evening, lads?
Aye, aye.
So we're back on air.
Buongiorno.
Buongiorno. We're good, man. Guten Tag. You know, we're throwing out all the lingos tonight, aren't we? Donde este la biblioteca, my friend, you know. But yeah. Domo origato. So yeah, we're going through the hellos now, and yeah, we're talking tonight about getting the guys into a haunted house. So first up, we asked the question this evening, what would it take to get you into a haunted house? Now, Johnny, you said you just do it for the S words and the giggles, so you'd be happy just to go in. Jam, what would it actually take to realistically get you into a haunted house?
I need to know what's happening.
You need to know what's happening, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so
who died in there?
Okay, so
Why is it haunted?
I'll give you a bit of the history of the house. So I'm going to use I'm going to use a scenario house for this one. I'm not going to base it on any particular location. So this house was the scene of a famous murder. So we've got a little bit of Amityville thrown in there, right? So a son murdered his whole a family of his sisters and his parents, and yeah, you know, it's like, it's pretty gory and horrific, but he reckons he was possessed. There's your Amityville link. And yeah, so this has happened, say, 30 years ago. Anyway, a couple moved in about 20 years ago, and they got, like, they said poltergeist activity happened. Really violent poltergeist activity, you know, people getting Jazzy Jeffed out of the house, and lights going on and off, knives being thrown at the wall, knives being found in the sofa. That one's a real actual case that I read about. So yeah, knives appearing in the sofa. Upon other investigations, marbles have disappeared from one room and have just randomly appeared in other rooms. Other stuff has happened, like marbles have been thrown at the wall, pictures have been knocked over. But you know, for the last, say, 7 or 8 years, there's not really been any recorded stuff. You've seen a few YouTube videos on it, and nothing's really happened in there. So you know, that's where we're at with it. So that's the situation with the house that you're being asked to go into. So what's it going to take to get you into this house, first of all?
Now I'm there.
Well, I'll go with my boys just to watch one of them freak out.
Are you just going because you want to see one of them freak out? Now, what if it is actually what if it's yourself that freaks out? You know, you're going in with the brass balls, or you got the big cojones that you're not going to freak out yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Okay, so. Right, so, you know, we're going to do this, like, this is how we'd sort of plan it. I'll talk about how we're going to plan this if we actually ever can get this off the ground. The idea would be that we'd have video cameras rigged up in a few rooms in the house that would be connected to a Facebook live stream, so the audience can actually interact with you guys while you're in the house. Now, while that's happening, every few hours or so, we'd do a live broadcast on Smile Radio. So, you know, the radio equipment's there. You've got people constantly watching you and watching the other rooms. So, you know, you're not quite on your own in this. This is a fully live interactive stream, you know, but the whole idea is that you're not paranormal investigators, really, because you're not. Because, you know, I watch all these documentaries on telly. Danny watches them as well, and she loves it. When they go into the house and they're like, is there anybody there? And they're talking into their little device, and the device comes back with a robotic ET phone home and all of that, you know. So, you know, I mean, you guys aren't like that. I mean, let's talk about spirituality for a minute here. What's your guys' thoughts on the afterlife? Believe in ghosts or not, Johnny?
I've never really given it that much thought, so say I'm in the middle ground where it couldn't.
So you're like me.
I'd have to see something to believe it.
You've got to see it first to, you know, put your stake in it. That's fair enough. I'm like that. That's very much how I described it in the Ritchie J show yesterday on Smile when I was talking about it a little bit. That, you know, I'm kind of the guy that if I saw it, I'd believe it. Obviously, you know, I've seen Scooby-Doo a lot, so I would check and see if there's a mask first, you know. Jam, over to you, buddy. What's your thoughts on it? Do you believe in ghosts and goblins and things that go bump in the night?
Well, I'm a bit of both, because obviously...
What, you're a thing that bumps in the night and you're a goblin?
No. I actually had an experience at work once.
Oh, you had an experience?
So I turned up to work at like 4 AM, 5 AM for the open.
Yeah.
I was putting my stuff away in the lockers. It was literally only me up the stairs. And like halfway through, like lobbing my stuff in the lockers, I was just heard like the door shaking.
Yeah.
And like I'm mumbling.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm gonna die.
Looking for them balaclava
So,
men at any point,
you do what you do, and you go like, hello?
Yeah.
To see if it's actually someone like trying to like.
And
yeah,
you know what? You know what probably saved you that day, Jam, is the rumor that gingers don't actually have a soul. So you know, if it was coming looking for souls and it saw you in the locker room, it's just like, damn, I'm just like shushed out of luck. You know what I mean?
Then like I opened the door because I was like, what is this? And then nothing.
Wow. So
just like,
have you had anything else like that there since? Has anything else like that happened to you again since like you've sort of been back like working there and that, like on a night shift?
Not really, but there is a couple of rumours about work.
Now, because you live in Norwich, and Norwich is quite known for its historical grounds. I mean, most of Norwich, if I remember, most of Norwich is built on its castle, isn't it? Or it was built on the foundations of a castle. That's right. And there's also Norwich Prison, which it was a prison town back in the day, and they used to hang people on the outskirts of Norwich as well. That was another thing that they used to do, just to sort of prove a point that you don't come here nicking, my lad. And if you're not related, you're not welcome. That's the other one as well. But yeah. But it's
Uncle Jack D's sisters, boy.
Yeah, well, that's it. I mean, there's a lot of history there with stuff like that, though. Because I used to visit Newark quite frequently, and there's a lot of history with like stuff like that there. Like we used to live in this flat converted from an old hotel, and that had a history. Like people would say they woke up in the beds in our spare room at night time, and they'd see like an old lady sitting on the end of the bed. So of course, when I come up for the summer holidays, I would not sleep in that bedroom. Other times, you could hear like talking in the night, and you'd put the light on and there's no one there. I mean, I used to be pretty freaked out in the dark, and I can't really remember why, but that could be possibly part of the reason. So yeah, we're gradually, after 7 minutes of talk here, we've figured out what's going to get Jam into the house. He's going to do it to support his boys. He's got them brass cojones, and Johnny's just all like, yeah, boy, let's do this. So we've got you into the house, so you're all cushy.
Invite one person though.
Yeah, obviously, who are you going to invite? Who would be the person you'd bring?
I say Jam brings his girlfriend.
I was actually going to say someone else.
Oh, okay. I mean, would it be one of the other Game Boys? Because I mean, that's not really like bringing a guest. That's just bringing one of the other Game Boys. Because Military Mark, we've got to put him in this scenario just for the sake of it.
Technically, it was a Game Boy, but
Ryan.
No, before Game Boys had even started.
Combo.
Ah, right, yeah, okay.
But we can't say the names on. Yeah.
Oh, the old C word.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, the original plan. Yeah. We can't. Obviously, we're too nice to not say names here on Smile Radio and that. But yeah, you can bring the C word in there. So yeah, that'd be cool.
Let's go.
We'll call him Mr. C. So we'll bring you, Mr. C. There'll be.
Now we definitely need to bring Jam's girl.
Well, this is just going to take a dark turn straight away. I think it's not going to be like the ghosts that get you. It's going to be Mr. C when he goes all Norman Bates on you in the shower and that.
Halfway through the night.
So, what would be?
Drop the shot.
Okay, I mean, obviously we're talking haunted houses and stuff. Like you go into them and that, it's like a lot of the time they sort of feel the chill and stuff. I mean, if you walked in and you instantly felt that chill, what would be your initial reaction and that, like as a group? Because we're gonna get you in now, so you're all in there. It's a bit awkward.
Shut the door, turn the heating on.
Exactly, that's what you do, innit? When it gets cold, you shut the door and you turn the heating on. Jab's not afraid of no ghosts. Okay, so we're gonna make this a little bit interesting later on. So we've got you in the house, and we're gonna have some. The plan is, we're gonna have some haunted house stuff going on. Poor Johnny's mum there with the car. I bet he's having a go at a Jab. You know what he's like. He's proper evil when it comes to stuff like that. Poor lady just needs to pat the back, and he's like, "Will you stop coughing?" But yeah, so we've got you into the haunted house. The Facebook Live feeds up. So all them Smile Radio's viewers can watch you live from the Game Boys of Smile Radio Facebook page that we've got set up. So you can see your famous faces all on there. So you got backup all night. There's cameras in each and every room. It's a 4-bedroom house with a little coal shed out back. The coal shed in this scenario is supposed to be one of the most dangerous places to go on your own because it's pure pitch black, and every time somebody's gone in there, somebody's tried to strangle them occasionally. Okay, so yeah, that's one of them.
Themselves or other people?
Well, no, somebody else has tried to strangle them. That's what's happened with it. It's like
if they go in alone, how do they get strangled?
That's it. It's supposed to be the ghost, isn't it?
Telling me there's someone in the coal shed then.
There's no one.
Guest.
There's no. There's no, yeah. I've paid somebody to throttle you every time you go in the coal shed. There you go. Spoiler alert. No, there's no one in the coal shed. But again, this is based from a real scenario that you go in this coal shed. Like a guy went in this coal shed, and yeah, he got proper throttle, red marks around the throat and that, and there was nothing in there apart from him. And it was pitch black, and he said he couldn't see nothing. And yeah, just yeah, there we go. So skeptical Jonny, Fox Mulder and Scully. I don't know which one of you is going to be Scully yet, because you're both skeptical at the moment. I mean, you know, Jam's the closest because he's ginger, but you know, Jonny, you're just a skeptic. So there is that. But yeah, so you know, we've got you in. You're all skepticals. I like this because that's what's going to make it interesting. So you get in, and the first thing you notice is that obviously the small radio system's
Johnny's missing. Boom.
No one's going to die in this scenario. I'm trying to keep this real as possible. Try to sell this to the audience, Jam. You know, let's not go off too many tangents. Have you got your holy water and like holy bullets just yet, though? You know, that's the main question. So yeah, we've got you in. The first test of the night, we're going to have a paranormal investigator sent in, and he will do what's known as a voice box test. They have this little...
Not run.
No, it's like an Amazon Alexa thing, and it basically like and it cycles through all these radio waves. Now, this is what I don't understand about it, because it cycles through all these radio frequencies to decipher a sentence together from a ghost.
Why are ghosts talking on radio waves?
Well, it's the different
frequencies. They all have walkie-talkies or something.
Well, this is the thing about ghost hunting. They always sort of say that, like, you know, that ghosts are on a different frequency plane to us, because you know the whole theory that energy doesn't die. So you know, technically, when you die, you don't die. You live on forever, because you know, everything that you are, like matter, doesn't die, does it? You know, so it's like that, but it's on a different wavelength to us. That's what they're saying. So they've got the Vox box in. The Vox box, it kind of sounds like Bumblebee, like, you know, in the crappy Michael Bay movies when he talks, and it's all like, no, not when he transforms you, like when he actually talks, and he's like all different radio channels. You know, it's that he talks like that. But yeah,
like Michael Bay, the house will be up in flames in 2 seconds.
It just sounds like
it's there's gonna be an explosion in a minute. But yeah, no. So yeah, we've got like a Bumblebee style voice box, and it cycles through radio frequencies, and you ask it questions, and then occasionally it strings a sentence together like I'm here and that. So you get a couple of responses out of it. Like you first, like, so what would be the first question you'd want to ask a ghost? I'll throw this one out to Jam.
What would it take for you to kill someone?
What would it take for you?
How can I bargain with you?
I can see now why you've invited Mr. C along. I can see where this is going. So
yeah. What do you mean? This is completely
different subjects. You know, just different topics. Yeah, unrelated.
Completely unrelated.
Asking for a friend, isn't it? You know, yeah. All right, okay. Yeah. So while Jam's asking dark questions like how can I make a deal with the devil, Jonny, what would be your first question of the evening to the ghost?
How do I sell my soul?
Oh my god, what is wrong with you guys? Seriously, Danny, I've got Danny sat here in the background. Their first 2 questions to a ghost is how do I make a deal with somebody to kill somebody, and how do I sell my soul? Honestly, you know.
What do you get if you sell your soul, though?
Well, yeah, what would you want? What? Okay, Jonny, I mean, this is going off...
Unlimited power!
Okay, so that's beyond the realms of achievable there, bud, you know. I mean, honestly... I mean, this is going to be a hard sell at the best of times. Okay, so you're going to ask it what you can sell your soul. So you don't get that sort of answer, but you get a, hello, we're here. So what's your take on that? Hello, we're here.
Where is here?
Someone typed something into the box.
Yeah, but the box is like an Alexa. It just sits there, but it's not an Alexa because it's not connected to the Wi-Fi. It
Alright, then
streams
it's
radio
programmed
signals.
to have the same response.
No, but it has a different response.
Clearly it's not a response to any of our questions.
Yeah, but I know it's not responding to any of your questions, but that's not how the spirit world apparently works. According to, you know, psychic investigators. And you'd seriously ask a ghost how it feels about gingers.
People that make money from tricking people into thinking that's really
love them or hate them.
Okay, alright, okay. So you're not really a big fan of the first test, which is the speaker box test. This is interesting. I like this so far. I like where we're going with this. I mean, you've properly got off on a tangent. Your questions are borderline. Okay, at the end of the night, if somebody does end up selling their soul, we are getting out of there at the minute that anything turns up to purchase that soul. You know what I mean? We're going to go to the next song, which ironically on the list sounds like this show. It's called That's Not Entertainment, and it's by the Lottery Winners. Now, again, like this show, it does have explicit like content with it, so yeah, be warned. We're gonna be back after some music, but yeah, Crazy. Somebody's going to sell their soul tonight on Smile Radio.
Song on the radio that means anything to me. And just cause you're good looking shouldn't mean you're on TV. Can't be the only one with my head in the clouds when I'm sitting with my cat on my catalogue couch. This is not entertainment to me. Ever get a feeling you're being taken for a fool? Yeah. Me too. Just another bubblegum bullshit contest on my little screen. They'll give you 15 minutes if you sell them all your dreams. I can't be the only one that's had it with yet another band in leather jackets. That is not entertainment to me. Ever get the feeling that they're just not very cool? That's not entertainment. TV static. Where's the fun gone? Where's the magic? Turn off your brain and vegetate. Ever get a feeling you're being taken for a fool? That's not entertainment. That's not entertainment. Is this the state of my generation? That's not entertainment. Go to your love island, and I don't want to come dine with you. I don't want to meet your big brother, and I don't care what loose women do, 'cause that's not entertainment. That's not entertainment. That's not entertainment. That's not entertainment. Not entertainment. To me, not entertainment. To me, not entertainment.
Yes, that's not entertainment. That's by the Lottery Winners. What a great little track that was. Welcome back. It is the midweek mashup with the GameboyZ here on Smile Radio this Wednesday evening, playing some awesome music, and we're getting a little bit haunted this evening. That's right, we're taking the GameboyZ into a haunted house. It's been very interesting so far. So far we've had like the first question of the night being, how do I sell my soul? And you know, Lucifer, you know, how do I go about, like, you know, offing somebody? So yeah, here we go, back into the next part of the show.
Wouldn't be my fault though, would it?
Well, I like how I fade into it wouldn't be my fault, would it? Yeah, the devil told me to do it. There we go. Right, lads. So, okay, so the Vox Box test, that turned out very interesting. You only got that one response that was, hello, we're here, after you asked to sell your soul, you know. I mean, you could take that either way, really, you know, but you didn't get any other responses out of it, you know. But, I mean, they want to go...
not scripted or anything.
They're going to go back... They're going to go back to the spirit box maybe a little bit later. So as the night, I'm going to throw out some scenarios. I'm going to throw in some paranormal investigators along the way. Now, each one of these are based on ones that I've seen on television. This is where I want your reaction to come in, because this is what I'm liking, is it's a real reaction. Yeah, the next part of the evening, we're going to have a guy come in. Now, his speciality is he has what's known as, like, he's got, I don't know what it's actually called. I think it's the Puck 2 or something. It's like basically what it is it's a Connect. Nut job. Jam, you got, you know, we tried, like, toe the line here.
Put your hands on the board and we shall talk.
No, we're not. we're not doing boards. We're bringing in technology. The Ouija board comes in later. You know, that's at the point where I'm like, damn it, I just want to sell these guys souls and get out of here and hang out with the guys that take over. You know. But yeah, anyway. So yeah, the Puck 2 works very much like an Xbox One connects. That when you watch the screen, it kind of, you know, like when you watch Paranormal Activity movies and there's the bit in the later ones where they use the Kinect in the dark and it comes up with all the green dots in the room. Well, that's what the Puck 2 basically does in darkness. It brings up all the green dots in the room and it basically tracks motion. So how this has kind of worked on the episodes that I've seen is that when an anomaly shows up, it's like a stick man and it's in all kinds of weird sort of shapes and it does really weird patented movements, like it'll crawl up walls.
So it's a laser show, basically.
Well, you don't actually see it on the dots. It appears on like the camera screen. You don't actually see anything in reality because our perception of the great beyond is a little bit harder to that. You know what I mean? So it's like a case that we can't actually.
Yeah. So it's random green dots and a computerized stick man.
Well, it's like motion capture. So you walk in front of the Kinect and it'll pick you up and you'll have your stick man outline, which outlines you. So you're already detected, but an anomaly. Well, because it's, you know, you're like, it's kind of like mocap, how mocap works in film. You know, you're like Andy Serkis, king of the mocap. He wears them suits with all the bulbs on it and stuff, right? And when they actually pick it up on the computer, it's actually a stick animated figure. They then have to detail that figure, but that figure is how they track the movement, and that's what this basically device does. So you walk on and it'll portray you as a stick man because you're stood in front of that camera. It's outlined you with the Kinect dots that you're an anomaly in there and you're moving about, so you're a person, so it picks you out. But then when you walk off, there's this other anomaly there, which is like a stick person, or there might be two, or there might be none, or there might be one that's crawling around, or there might be one with multiple legs. That's when they start saying, like, this could be a demon and stuff. But yeah, so you with this expert, he set up his Puck 2, and yeah, you've picked up a figure on this Puck 2. Jonny, I'll go over to you first because I used Jam last time. What would be your initial response to this? What would be your sort of like gauging of this? Like seeing a stick figure there, but there's no one there in front of you, but you can see it. It's crawling around on the Puck 2. As he moves it around the room, you can see it crawling.
I'd walk over and start dancing in the space.
You would dance with the ghost. You'd start dancing with the ghost and that, right? Okay. Now,
yeah, man.
We'd have to have tunes though.
Okay, now the general...
Oh, yeah.
Well, obviously we'd be having tunes because we'd be broadcasting on Smile, so we'd be having Smile on in the background the whole time, man, so it's going to be having the tunes. Occasionally we have to
have that spooky thing on as well.
We have to broadcast.
Yeah.
Oh, what, like the Twilight Zone and the Outer Limits music, yeah. That third in there. Yeah. But you get me, it's like one of these. You going in and, yeah, you see the stick figure, so Johnny's gone to dance with it. Now, you're saying that you feel this particularly cold spot, the heating's on, but you feel a cold spot in the room where this figure is. It's right now. You're stood right in the figure's path, and you feel a cold spot. That's what you're saying to the guys. Jam, what's your response to Johnny saying he's feeling a cold spot here?
What? So Johnny feels the cold spot, and I'm just standing there.
Yeah, and the other guy comes over, and he's like, "Oh, I feel the cold spot too with the Puck too," and he's like, "Yeah, I feel that cold spot too."
Is this why Jam closes the window next to us?
No, the windows are all shut. The heating's on because you put the heating on. You're just feeling a cold spot. You know, how would you explain this one out?
Well, I mean, I'd stop blowing on the necks.
But the windows aren't double glazed. It's an old building.
That isn't it. Also, that's an interesting like note that you've made there because like a lot of the time, a lot of the buildings that the paranormal investigators go in do seem to have like single glazed sort of buildings and that. And yeah, it's kind of a case that. Yeah, it's kind of a case that, yeah, single glazing, you know what that's like, it just sort of lets the drafts through anyway, so, you know, that could, in theory, explain that cold spot, but how do you explain the cold spot only being in the place where the stick figure appeared on the Puck 2 device?
Explain this stick figure. Is it multiple legs, 2 legs, just like a baby sort of thing, a man?
Well, it's just a weird stick figure with arms and legs, and it rotates around the room, and you can't really kind of tell what it is because it's like, I'd say it's somewhere between your height and a Hobbit height, Jam. So, you know, give or take.
So same height, right?
Yeah, pretty much. So it's like kind of your height. It kind of crawls around like the girl from The Ring up the walls and stuff like that. You know, what's your response to this? Go on, you hit me with your best shot, Jam.
So, we're all just standing there looking at it.
You're just going to stand there and look
Yeah.
at it. You're not going to... Right.
At the moment, we do.
Okay, so you're standing there looking at it. Right, okay,
We're just kind of looking at it through the Connect thing.
Yeah. And it's moving around and that. So are you not like...
Yeah.
Are you not in awe of this? I mean, what's your response to seeing like a creature on that
You
screen?
sort of just stand there and stare at it in like shock, like...
You're not going to try and talk to it or nothing? You're not going to just sort of be all like... I mean, Johnny's already tried to get... like lucky with it by busting his moves on the dance floor and that, and he's just getting the cold shoulder, getting a frosty reception, like, you know. But you're just gonna stare at it, you know. Right? Okay, that's cool.
No, because it'd be funny just watching Johnny like dance at it. Just on his own.
Well,
like him on a night out.
Shaking that booty, yo.
So I'm going to throw in the next paranormal investigator into the mix. So you've seen the Puck 2 evidence that there's something there in the room with you. The next paranormal investigator, he goes for what's traditionally known as an EVP recording. He's got like a dictaphone tape recorder, and he'll ask questions while he's recording, and then he'll come back, listen to that recording, and see if there's any response on the other side, because a lot of the time they get picked up very faintly in these EVPs, like movement, breathing, stuff like that. So he'll ask it a few questions. So he's going to throw out the EVP to try and see if there's anything out there. Have you got any questions this time for the EVP, Johnny?
Hey, what's your name?
So Johnny's just trying to hit on it. You know, it could be a dude ghost in here, you know, because, like, you know, it was a whole family that got there, you know.
All I said was, hey, what's your name?
I know that. I know exactly what that hey, what's your name means.
You start talking to people in a club, man.
Yeah, Johnny.
Yeah, I definitely talk to people in the club like, hey, what's your name?
Does he, Jam? You're the one that's been out with him. You got to look enlighten us for this.
Well, I lost him halfway through the night, so...
Because he was walking around going, hey, what's your name? That's Johnny's thing, yeah.
Random people inside.
Right.
Outside, just like, oh.
Nah, me and Chaz ditched them both.
So Johnny went in with the hey, what's your name?
Yeah, we need 20 quid.
So, Jam, what's your first question for the EVP? Nothing.
I'm just trying to think.
Absolutely not.
When
Johnny,
you'd be intrigued to sort of...
This is my time.
Ask about, like, how you died, or, like, you know, what's your intentions this evening? You know,
no, because then when you start asking questions, you get attached to it.
It's not a Pokemon.
You start wondering about it. You start thinking about it.
Mate, you're supposed to be a skeptic here at this point. You're already, like, thinking, right, I've got Precious here, and, you know, we're going to bond, and I'm going to keep it in my Pokeball. I'll call it Pikachu, and we'll travel across the land searching far and wide, you know.
It'll be a detective.
Okay, then.
Yeah, that's it. It's going to be a detective that's voiced by Ryan Reynolds, you know. That's what. It's not going to be a case of that. It's like, you know, you're asking the questions to try and see if there's proof of the afterlife. That's where you're going with this, right?
Why did you die here?
What have you done for me lately?
Why here? Yeah.
Okay, why
what
here?
What have you been up to, man? You know.
Okay.
Oh.
Right, so, you know, it's a bit crazy this so far. I mean, you know, I'd have gone if... I'll come into the mix now. So, you know, I've finished, like, doing what I was doing in the small radio trailer parked out back, and I'm coming into the house now to be like, guys...
Trailer park.
Come on, let's...
Yeah, he's one of the trailer park.
Let's get down to the nitty-gritty here. What's going on? What to go on? You know, let's ask some serious questions. Like, right, number one, what is going to happen to us tonight? You know, number two, are you benevolent?
It's not going to tell you because it's going to ruin it.
Yeah, it's not. I'm not going for spoilers here, am I? I'm going to ask the straight-up questions. You know, number two, are you real? Number three, pre-recorded response. I don't know. Number four, what's your favourite song? What request do you want on Smart Radio this evening? www.smartradio.k. Yeah, I'll just throw some random questions out there, but it's just asking those questions because the EVP is going to come back now, and a lot of the times with the EVPs on these ghost shows, you kind of get, I don't know, you get some sort of random messages back. Sometimes you get like a help us, sometimes you're going to get a demon, sometimes you're going to get I hate you, sometimes it even says your name. So in this scenario that something's come back, we're not quite sure what the message is because it is a pretty patchy message, but it's a message directed to Jam. How would you feel if something come back and you clearly heard your name uttered on this message back?
He's finally got a friend.
I've got a fan.
It's got a fan, yeah. I mean, that's. I guess that's one way to sort of, you know, approach it and stuff. Yeah, that's cool. But you know, it's like it's not. It doesn't sound like a pleasant message because it's come from what is possibly an angry voice.
I'd just be like, what do you want from me?
Okay, so you're already. I'm guessing you're panicking a little bit, maybe here, huh? Is this what is happening?
We can hit a little panic voice in there, maybe like.
You're a little bit scared in there. So Jonny, now you've heard this message with something coming back to Jam. What's your thoughts about this now? Because the message is obviously directed to Jam and that.
Oh, I'm
so you've set this up beforehand.
So you're instantly you're sort of thinking that you set this up beforehand. Now I'm going to assure you now that if we ever got down to this scenario, I'm trying to sell it to the audience, Jonny, and you're already there like, oh, he's a master trickster. You watch out for this bugger. He's going to have planned it all in advance. So 100% guarantee nothing has been planned here in advance. Like, I'm just going off of what the history of this house is. Like, I didn't really want to go in there, so I've just been sort of parked outside.
All right, then the paranormal expert wants to get paid.
But to keep it fair, what I will do beforehand is I will not give them any of the information of who is going into the house. Because, at any point we could mix this up. So at the point of the house that you're in, it could be anybody. Because I could take you in and out all night. Because I want to make this a fair experiment. Because obviously, it is an experiment at the end of the day to pierce the veil and see what lays on the other side. For both believers and non-believers alike. Because, there is a lot of scam artists out there. It's like you get a lot of cold readers. The people that talk... Let's say they talk to the dead and stuff, and it's like, they're trying to provide a heartwarming message to the loved ones, but at the same time, they're asking you for money to do that. I get at the end of the day, everybody's got to make a living on that, but, I interviewed a psychic, about a year or so ago, and... I don't know, there was just something off about it, if I'm honest with you, and I don't know, since it's just one of those things. I have to see it to actually physically believe it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we'll move on to the next bit of the experiment after another song, I think, because, we've been chatting for a little while again. We're about 45 minutes into the show now, so I think we'll have some double play of music right now here on Smile Radio with the GameboyZ. Get Haunted.
It just flies by.
It does, it just flies by. So the next song on the list, you're going to like this one, guys. It is called She's Shambolic. It's by the Vanities.
She Shavakadoo.
She Shavakadoo, yeah. She's Shambolic, and this is by the Vanities. Again, explicit content warning, so yeah, be advised. Here we go. More music now on Smile Radio with the GameboyZ this Wednesday night.
Last night confession tried to grab her attention, and she's walking over 18 but looks older. I gave me the cold shoulder earlier tonight, and I heard her ex-boyfriend see what he's looking for a fight. Now he's cracking at it, starting to show. So I fucking go. She's shambolic, cause the DJ lights on his head, losing her mind, and it's right on time. She's all over me, she's all over me. He wants to kill me, he wants to kill me. He's cracking at it, starting to show. Well, here he comes now, let's fucking go. She's shambolic, cause the DJ lights on his head, losing her mind, and it's right on time. She's shambolic, cause the DJ lights on his head, losing her mind, and she's all mine. She's shambolic, she's shambolic, she's shambolic, cause the DJ lights on his head, losing her mind, and it's right on time. She's shambolic, she's shambolic, she's shambolic.
my god, mate.
Baby Strange. Welcome back. It is the midweek mashup of the GameboyZ, who are getting haunted tonight on Smile Radio. I'm going to bring the GameboyZ back in now. Tonight I'm joined by Jonathan Edwards.
Hello.
And Mr. James Herrington. Senior Herrington.
Hola.
It was actually here for once.
Hola, como estas? Yeah, so last song called Pure Evil by Baby Strange. Quite fitting considering you guys are currently in the middle of a haunted house scenario this evening on the GameboyZ. While we take a quick break from that, let's talk about gaming this week. Jonny, you've been sort of extensively researching Anthem a little bit. We'll have a little side note on the gaming about that while we take a moment. Let's hear your thoughts on Anthem. Give us your review.
I think it's
that good, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. That's just exactly how the game's been, I think, isn't it? Like, you know, I've seen sort of on their reviews and that, you know, people have had problems getting into the game. Now, as you may be aware, the GameboyZ here, we're gamers all the way. We're actually talking through an Xbox Live Party on the radio at the moment. That's how we actually run the show. So Johnny's probably just run out of batteries.
I'm back.
He's back again. There he is. You know, we lost him for a minute. The ghost had taken him, but yeah, now he's back. So yeah, Jonny, back to you then. Your review of Anthem.
Right.
Over to you.
So, it's very Mass Effect / Titanfall. The gunplay is very Titanfall. The whole overall feel of it is a lot like Mass Effect Andromeda.
Yeah. So, there's been issues with the game.
I really like the gameplay, but it does have me worried.
Exactly. Now, talk to me about these issues with the games this week. Tell me about what's been going on with the demo at the moment.
The download was kind of short. It's only the demo, but
yeah,
you could see a lot of the map in the demo, which worries me.
Yeah, so you feel like it's not going to be that big a game when it actually finally releases for one? Then is that what your initial thoughts are? Yeah, and then obviously, I mean, I had
the load times.
The load times are horrendous. Yeah, I noticed this yesterday. I loaded the game up for the first time myself. I've literally played the point where you jump into your first suit, and then it wouldn't load me into a lobby after that. The game actually stopped working after that, and
it also does that all the time. I think I tried to play it for about 4 hours.
Yeah.
Must have spent a grand total of an hour playing the game.
Really? That bad? Damn. See, yeah, my experience was 20 minutes, and then I went just nah. Well, they took the demo off yesterday briefly, didn't they? For a while
it's still down today.
Is it still down, is it? Right, okay, damn.
Yeah, so they are trying to fix it.
Yeah, but it's not good when you try to fix it when it's at a demo stage, because the demo is past beta tested at this point, and it's pretty much ready for launch. So, you know, to have these sort of issues on that note, you know. Now, moving aside from that, Resident Evil 2, that's also recently released to get re-released again. Well, it's not just a remaster, it's kind of a reboot in a way. They've changed elements about it.
They've changed part of the story, haven't they?
Yes. Have either of you boys had a chance to play this just yet? Have you played the demo or anything?
No, not yet.
Not yet, but I do plan to get it shortly.
Oh, that'll be interesting. Well, we'll be awaiting Johnny's review on that. That's our gaming segment now from the GameboyZ here on Small Radio. Now we're going to get back into the scenario because we've had a little moment out for the gaming. The scenario this evening, we've had the lads in the haunted house. They're very skeptical, and I like that about this because they're asking the questions that sort of matter to the experts that are coming in. And I kind of want to build this sort of this is where I'd go with it if we kind of did it. You know, initially not so much with the selling of the souls and the lettings of the bloods and the askings for the murders and that, but you know, it's interesting that you're asking these questions about like the Puck 2 device where it's like a Connect device and you're like, well, the stick figure's there, yeah, I can feel a cold spot, but it's single glazing in this house, you know, so that kind of could explain that out quite aptly. Now, you've had some EVP, you've heard some voice box sort of interaction and that, and you're still quite skeptical at the moment that you're still not believing. So let's move it on a little bit. So the first actual test of the evening is that you're going to go into the room. We'll go back into our Amityville scenario where the mum and the dad were murdered in their bed. Right, you got to sleep in that room for 2 hours. Now, this room is apparently one of the rooms where the biggest amount of activity happens in the house for a while. Like, people have been slapped in the sleep. One guy got beaten up pretty badly. That's a film called Bad Ben on Amazon. You should check that one out. It's a really bad movie, but it's just hilarious. Like, the dude actually gets the crap kicked out of him by a ghost in bed, and you can hear the slapping noises and everything, and he's all like, ow, ooh, ee, ooh, ah, 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 and then try to take it seriously. You can't even take it seriously. It's like, if you guys ever watch King of the Hill? I don't say. Yeah. Oh, he's like a balding version of the dad in King of the Hill sort of thing. But yeah, he just gets like bee slapped by ghosts and dragged around, Jazzy Jeffed around the house and that. So yeah, that activity's apparently gone down in this room. So the first question obviously is going to be between you guys. Who's going to be the one that stays in for the first 2 hours?
Oh, I'll do it.
Can we not,
I'm not sleeping with you.
We go top and toe.
You see it? He's trying to get in there with you, Johnny, already. Like, it's going to be.
I just don't want Johnny to.
I know Mandem's scared of being on his own, but.
Well, the idea of you going in alone is that I'm going to send an expert in with you because, like, on the other hand, I've got something else lined up.
Alright, I'd rather go in with Jam.
See, it's no, you've got a paranormal expert because on the other hand, Jam's going into the other room. And he's got another paranormal. He's got a witch going into this room with him. He's actually got a bona fide witch going in. Because, you know, there are witches out there, like dark and light witches. The funniest thing I saw quite recently was on
what
episode...
What school do you have to go to become a witch?
Hogwarts, obviously, isn't it? You know. Is it Hogwarts for witches, Danny? Yeah, so you get Hogwarts, obviously you get your degree there. Come on, Johnny. But yeah, anyway, I saw this, this was an episode of Ghost Adventures on the Travel Network, and they got this white witch called Lady Death. Is it Lady Death Snake?
I think it's just Lady Snake, isn't it?
No, it's Lady Death Snake, and I'm sure she's got Death Snake in it, yeah. Oh, right, she's at what? Oh, so you know who Lady Death Snake is then?
No, you just justified it.
No, she's a dark witch, is Lady Death Snake. And then there's a white witch. I can't remember what her name is.
White witch.
Oh, well, I'm confused myself right
There
now.
is
Okay.
always one to counter out the other.
I know. Well, no, there's no White Witch going in, but yeah, you got the Black Witch going in, which is like Lady Deathsnake-esque. But yeah, on this episode of Ghost Avengers, where I keep getting to here before I keep really getting interrupted by everybody.
What is the difference between a white and a black witch?
Why you got to bring it down to colour, Johnny? Well, one believes in it's like the Jedi and the Sith, isn't it? You know, it's like one believes in like drawing their powers from nature and light, which is Wicca, and then the other believes in drawing their powers from like the demonic realm, and this Lady Deathsnake does that. Anyway, in the scenario that I keep trying to tell you in this short time of space we've got, because our show's almost over, you know, she goes in and she starts like doing spells like while no one's watching her, and she's doing all this weird stuff, and they all go down to sort of check her out, and she just I'm going to bring that into Jam scenario in a little bit anyway. But yeah, Johnny, you've got in with you've got a psychic in the room with you, and yeah.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
There's no sleeping. I'll make it easier for you. It's a female psychic. Is that better for you?
No, because it's still a psychic.
Still a psychic, you know. So even if it was Jean Grey from the X-Men, you wouldn't want none of this right now, no?
No.
Oh, there you go. Look at Johnny, though. He's just like, nah, psychics, man. Just not my type.
I don't like people that rip other people off.
Okay, well, you know, this psychic has got like a 9 out of 10 review, like, from the Psychic Network.
From like Trivago,
yeah, on Trivago and, yeah, all them great sites. But, yeah, so the idea is that you're going to go in and you're going to see if you can get some sort of reaction from your room. Jam, you and the Dark Witch... We're not going to call him a Black Witch, Johnny, because we're not offensive like that. The Dark Witch are going into the other red room, which was the kids' room and stuff. Now, she just whacks out a Ouija...
Why are you doing a kids' room, man?
Because you're the most infant-like of the group in both looks and, like, mentality. And, you know... So
attitude.
Yeah, that's it. So, yeah, so she goes in the room, and we'll go back to Johnny in a bit, but her first instinct is to whack out a Ouija board. So, you know, how are you feeling about that?
I'm going to ask it to cover my shift tomorrow from work because I ain't turning up.
I got the flu, man. I can't do this. But yeah, so she's going to whack it out, and your first question is, can I get a day off work tomorrow? Nice one. Right, Ava and Johnny...
obviously, I don't want to work after I'm, like, using a Ouija board.
Well, no, you get a blessing afterwards. Like, you know, there's a blessing to that stuff. But, yeah, obviously she's a bit kooky, and she just keeps babbling. All right, we'll run into this before we go over it, Johnny. She starts rambling on at you in a bit of Latin and stuff like that. But the board she starts moving the board, and then she lets go of the glass because you're not touching the glass. And the glass moves on itself a little bit. How are you feeling about this now?
Magnets.
See, Johnny's in the other room shouting magnets to you, here they. I don't quite know why he's in the other room shouting magnets to you, because
just yelling magnets.
Yeah, randomly shouting magnets. So yeah, how would Jam feel? This is Jam's moment, Johnny. Jam's moment. I know it's been a while, but Jam, this is your moment.
Shine.
How do you feel right now? What's your instinct with this? What's your instinct with this?
I actually watched something on Ouija boards quite a while ago, and they tested Ouija boards with people blindfolded and not blindfolded.
Yeah.
And it turned out when people were blindfolded, the answers were incorrect.
But when they weren't blindfolded, the answers were correct.
Yeah.
Okay. So, going back to the origins of the Ouija board, you know it was originally an MB game, right? It was designed as a family fun game. Can't quite remember the year. I think it's somewhere in the 1800s, but it was initially designed as a family board game. So yeah, there's a lot of skepticism about Ouija boards in general. Would you still remain a skeptic if it did move on its own, though?
If it started moving on its own, I'd be like, alarm bells sort of thing.
A little bit of alarm bells, but you're going to be locked in that room for a couple of hours with her, and that glass is going to be moving around for a bit. Anyway, Ava and Johnny's room. Johnny and the psychic sort of saying, I can feel a presence in here. I can't quite tell. I think there's a few. One of them's definitely dark, though, and they're taking an interest in you, Jonathan. You know, what's your reaction to this sort of thing, Johnny? How are you going to feel if they're taking an interest in you?
Johnny's got gas.
I got gas.
He's got gas, right? Okay, cool. So yeah,
100%.
He's got gas 100%. Okay, so while you're sat on the bed and the psychic...
What's she been smoking?
So you're sat on the bed and the
Sharon's
psychic's
Karen.
across the room from you, and right next to you, you feel the bed, like, dip. Just completely dip. Like, proper sinking in dip. Like, as if someone heavy
It's
had
an
just
old
sort of sat
bed.
next to you. Are you going to put it down to an old bed? Are you going to check the bed over at least? Are you going to give it the once-over?
Yeah, go on.
Okay, so right. So while you're doing that, you know, you can't see any signs of the bed degradation. The psychic then says something that only relates specifically to you. Like, no, that's something that nobody would know. Just relating to you. What's your... How would you respond to something like that?
Okay, it's a little weird, but
It's a
there's
little...
no proof it's a ghost.
There's no proof it's a ghost. Okay, so while you're all sort of scrabbling about and you're like both trying to still prove that there is no ghost and the psychics are still trying to prove there is a ghost, you hear a colossal bang from downstairs, and there is nobody downstairs, but...
Except you.
Well, no, I'm not downstairs.
Dun, dun, dun.
I'm back in the van because, like, you know, it's...
Why aren't you in with us?
Because I'm on my designated smoke break at this point in the evening, guys. Jesus, I get, like, allotted, like, a 3-hour
How
smoke
come
break.
you
man,
get
that's
one,
not-
but
that's
we're
not
trapped
good,
in
yeah.
rooms?
Because I need to keep an
Yeah,
eye
why
on
are
you
we trapped
guys.
in room with kooks?
Because I'm sadistic like that. Really, I'm Jigsaw. You know, it's all gonna turn twisted in a minute. But no, like I'm not.
I'm just
It's
watching
just
the whole thing.
everybody in the house is upstairs and you hear the giant bang downstairs. Are you gonna go investigate that bang, or are you gonna
Yeah,
send?
obviously.
Are you gonna go together, or are you gonna
Yeah, you know.
send somebody down to
Yeah.
do it?
We're going together.
You're gonna
We
go
ain't
together. All right. Cool.
Actually, Jam, we could send C down.
We should send C down.
Okay.
Wait,
you're
where
gonna...
would C be? Because if C's already there,
Nah, C's in the
Yeah.
other bedroom. It's a 4-bedroom house. You've all got bedrooms each, so like he's getting some C's. C is getting some C's.
CZ's.
Yeah, he's probably just sleepwalking again.
Yeah, alright then, cool. So who's going to go investigate then? All together or individually?
Then C.
Right,
Let's go.
Alright, we'll find out what happens after Garden Ornaments.
Okay, we'll all go.
This is by Voodoos. You're listening to the midweek mashup with the GameboyZ. They're getting haunted this Wednesday on Smart Radio.